Hi, I'm Nancy Fredericks, leader of Leadership for Women Only, and thanks for joining me today. The reason I'm doing a video is because I got an email from a woman executive who asked a fabulous question, and I said to myself, wow, you know, if one person, and I know this from history of working with clients for so many years, if one person is asking the question, there's probably hundreds of other women asking the very same question. Perhaps it's only in their mind, but they're asking it nonetheless. And so I thought, what better way of responding to all of these women than to do a video where they can watch it. So let me share with you what this one woman executive asked me, and let me tell you a little bit about what I want to share with you today. You know, what she said is, I want to be successful and get more out of my career. I did really good early on, but not so good now. You know, I don't think it has anything to do with being a woman. I just think I'm stuck in the middle. So why do you think it has to do with me being a woman in business? So I love it when people come right back at me and hit me with the great questions. So there's a couple of tips that I'm going to share with you today, but I want you to understand that Leadership for Women Only is going to be chock full, moment by moment, all day long, with little tidbits and big tidbits that are going to support you in getting the kind of career you want to have. But before I go there, I have to take you back a little bit because you see, I'm considered a pioneer in the field of gender diverse leadership. And I want to share the story of how I got here. Just a little snippet, not the whole one. It would take too long. But the reality is that I've been coaching well before the term coaching ever came into being. And when I first started working as an executive coach in corporate America, all of my clients, without exception, were men. Because the truth is that at that time, there were very, very few women in senior leadership positions. And so as a result of coaching men for so long, I really understand how men think in the business world. And I know how they approach business. And I know how they respond to different circumstances. And then slowly but surely, I started gaining women clients. And it was fascinating to me, and I don't know how to share this with you. It was fascinating with me because, you know, we all know that men and women's skills are the same. You know, some men are really good at certain skills, and so are some women. And some men aren't so good at certain skills, and so are women not so good at those skills. So what I want you to focus on is not your expertise, not your authority, not your skill sets, but the nuances that is the glue that holds all of this together. Because that's where we're going to be digging deep into that arena. So getting back to my early coaching, I started coaching with these women and I went, wow, they're perceiving a business situation totally different than the men that I coached, and it's harming them in corporate America. And additionally, shifting the way they see it, interpreting it slightly differently, isn't out of integrity. They're still going to be fully feminine. They're still going to be ethical. It's just a bit of training, you know, a little bit of aha magic to gain the concept. And as I was using these thoughts with women, it was fabulous because they were starting to gain real influence in their organization. And that led to me co-authoring the book Dancing on the Glass Ceiling 10, 11 years ago with a client of mine who I had coached for a number of years successfully. That led to me pursuing the arena of research and statistics and what really works and what really doesn't work. So that's why I come to you as an expert. Now, let me get back to the question that was asked by the executive in the email. Why? Well, I gave you a little taste of it, but let me give you some tips. So, go back in your memory banks and remember when you were first interviewing for a job at the company that you're currently working at. And I want to share with you just a bit of distinction between how men approach a job interview and how women approach it. And it's not simply coming out of research, and it's not simply coming out of my subjective experience. I actually have been blessed to have hundreds of human resource executives in my Women for Leadership programs, and as a result, I've asked them and I've confronted them, and they agree that the same thing happens. Now, when you're in the field of men and women, there's always uniqueness. I mean, we all have individual fingerprints and we all have different DNAs. And I understand that we all have different ear prints. So I'm very clear that we're unique and we're different and we're special and we're all here for a specific purpose. However, for this conversation, I'm going to bundle men in a group and women in a group, even though I understand we're all different. So, a man comes to the interview, and what does he do? He's interviewing hard, and he's selling himself hard on the job he's interviewing for, and at the same time, he's presenting glimpses and hints and confidence in the future executive. You know, the future vice president of marketing, or vice president of R&D, or vice president of sales. So within that interview is a larger scope than just simply what he brings to the picture today. He brings confidence that he's also going to be supporting the future of the company. Now, when you talk to women about this, a lot of them go, blow it off, because it sounds like it's bragging and it doesn't sound like a very attractive quality. And I have to agree that sometimes on some men, it really doesn't look very attractive. But what I want you to focus on is not the bragging aspect. I want you to focus on the confidence aspect. So let's get back to a woman interviewing. A woman is interviewing and she's there to prove, get that, prove her worthwhileness on the job. It's not enrolling and selling skill sets, it's proving them. It's justifying the value that she brings to the table. Now, just take a moment to pause and get outside of your own self and look at it as though you were observing the scene between a man and a woman interviewing. How many steps behind do you think that woman is in the interview process? A lot. That's a little taste of what we're going to be talking about. Now, let me give you another taste. It's called relationships, and it's called business relationships. And this has huge implications in careers. And I can't go into it on this tape. I just want to talk a little bit about the perception of relationships, men versus women. And I hate that versus, but let's do it in this case, okay? So, a man looks at a relationship from an expediency point of view. It's just simply get the job done. And he may be partnered or working with a group of individuals that he doesn't like, that have stolen ideas from him previously, that have taken credit for things that other people have done. You know, all sorts of counter relationship symptoms. And he understands it, but he doesn't relate to it from a diminishment of the relationship, because the relationship is a business relationship. Now, you look at how women approach it. Women have, and they bring to all of their relationships, an emotional connectivity. That's the essential element to have a friend, to be in a relationship. And they bring that into the business environment. Now, I do want you to know that women have rich, rich relationships that are fabulous, and we're going to talk about that in Leadership for Women Only. It's relationships that are going to support you in becoming the executive that you desire to be. And we're not focusing on that in this little video today. We're focusing on the other side, which is the side that can do you harm. And that's the side that withdraws from relationships when they've stolen an idea from you, or they took credit for something you did, or they didn't keep their promise to you, or any number of the things that diminishes rich relationships and don't necessarily diminish the work you need to do in a relationship in business. So, that said, I was doing a Leadership for Women Only program, and a woman executive in the course spoke up and goes, I have it. What you're talking about is outside of work, I can have the big R of relationship, which is all the emotions and all the context. And when I'm inside work, I need to be measuring my relationships based upon the little r. And I said, by Jove, I think she's got it. Now, within less than 1 year, this executive's dream came true. She had been working to get some overseas assignment of significance, not just any overseas, but a significant, influential overseas assignment from her global company for several years, unsuccessfully. She took Leadership for Women Only, and according to what she shared with me, the reason she got her overseas assignment within less than a year from taking the program was because of the secrets that were revealed about influence in an organization that she had never heard before. That's what I want for you. That's why I want you to attend Leadership for Women Only, because you don't know what you don't know. And I get it that you're working hard, and I get it that you bring magnificent skill sets to the table. And there's more to being successful in business and to be a bottom line executive that your organization sees as high potential and is interested in your future. And that's what I want to talk to you about in this program. And that's what I want to work with you on. So please join me. I would be excited to partner with you on your career success from today and on into the infinite future that you can have for yourself. Call me if you have any more questions. My suggestion to you is just simply sign up. This is going to make the biggest difference in your career. No kidding. And I can say that with confidence because I've heard that from so many women that I no longer even doubt that this program is making a huge difference. Thanks for listening. Much success to you, and I hope very much that we meet each other very soon.